I was chatting with a client recently and she told me summer's coming and I feel like I have to lose weight. I have to lose all my baby weight before it gets here. And listen, that pressure, it is so real, whether you've had a baby or not. And it's so easy to slide into summer with this mindset that we need to shrink ourselves. We need to drop weight fast and somehow bounce back. But here's what I told her and what I want to tell you. There is no bouncing back. There's only moving forward. And that doesn't mean hustling harder or overhauling your life either. It really means just approaching your health from a place of strength, not stress. Approaching it from care, not punishment. Because you can feel good in your body this summer, right? That's what I want. I want you to feel good in your body this summer without burnout, without crash dieting, and without chasing someone else's timeline. Everyone is on their own timeline, and that's okay. In this episode, I'm sharing a realistic, sustainable approach to weight loss for busy moms. You're going to learn 3 simple habits that support your goals, boost your energy, and help you feel confident from the inside out, whether you're postpartum or just juggling mom life. If you're wondering how to lose weight, feel good in your summer clothes, and still enjoy your life, not obsessing over food or fitness, this episode is for you. Feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, and like you've lost yourself in the postpartum chaos, struggling to rebuild your strength, heal your core, and feel confident in your body again? Hey mama, I'm Val, a functional sports dietitian, postpartum fitness coach, and a mama who understands exactly what you're going through. Welcome to the Strong and Nourish Mama podcast, where I help busy moms like you regain your energy, rebuild strength, and feel amazing through simple, science-backed nutrition and fitness strategies. If you're ready to go from depleted to strong, nourished, and unstoppable, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. If you're looking for a realistic and sustainable way to feel better this summer, then join the 21-day Summer Reset Challenge. You're going to be getting short, effective workouts, 30-plus quick and healthy recipes, supplemental guidance, and support inside a private community. It's for any woman ready to feel strong, energized, and nourished again without the extremes. We start on Monday, June 2nd, and we go through June 22nd. It's literally 21 days. That is it. So go to wellnessbyval.com/summer to sign up and save your spot today. I can't wait to see you in the 21-day Summer Reset Challenge. Again, go to wellnessbyval.com/summer. I was probably about 10 months postpartum, and that summer, I remember standing in front of the mirror, tugging at my swimsuit, wondering if I would ever feel like myself again. I didn't feel like myself. I didn't recognize my body. My belly looked different. My clothes fit differently. And I felt this pressure, even though I was pretty good at coming to terms, coming back to reality, like, hey, I'm 10 months postpartum. It hasn't even been a year. It takes 2 to 3 years for us to fully recover from being pregnant and giving birth. And I was really good at giving myself grace, but I still felt like I had this pressure to somehow bounce back by July. Like, oh, it's summer. You have to be in a smaller body. You have to be in a small swimsuit. Or thinking, would I ever feel comfortable in my body again? Will I ever feel confident again? And maybe you felt like that too. Like there's this unspoken expectation to show up in a smaller body by summer. Okay, it's summertime. We have to look a certain way in order to wear a swimsuit. You're probably scrolling social media and you see everyone doing these 6-week shreds or cutting carbs. You think, should I do that too? Should I cut out all the carbs? Should I exercise every day? Should I do super high intensity every single day, which is not sustainable? Do not recommend it. And thinking, is that what it takes to feel confident again? But I want to tell you this, your worth doesn't shrink. Your worth doesn't grow with the size of your jeans. And you don't need to fix your body by summer. You don't need to look a certain way by summer. But what if instead, what if you focused on feeling better, more energized, more nourished, and more at peace in your beautiful, amazing body? Like you gave birth, mama. You grew a human, you gave birth. And it's going to take time. We need to give ourselves grace. We need to be patient with ourselves because I believe that is where we are going to be most confident. Now, if you have aesthetic goals and you want to change body composition, I'm here to support you in that, but I also want you to understand that just because it's summertime doesn't mean that you have to look a certain way, doesn't mean that whatever size you're wearing right now, it defines who you are. The number on the scale does not define who you are. It is literally your relationship to the ground. That is it. And when we die, is that number really going to matter? No. I'm not going to be like, man, you know what? I weighed this much. If I'm like looking back on my life, right? Like, man, this is how much I weighed. No, I'm going to think about my family. I'm going to think about the relationships that I had. I'm going to think like, whoa, I gave birth to 3 babies or 1 baby. I was able to have a daughter, and then they had grandkids and so on, and have all these amazing connections and relationships with the people in my life, especially myself. So I want you to be more at peace in your body. I want you to shift that thinking and that focus to how can I have more energy? Not only for your family, of course, but for yourself. Not only for energy in the gym, but energy throughout the entire day because you're doing a million things all at once. How can I have the energy to do everything that I want to do, everything that I'm asking of my body, but also everything that is just required of me as an adult and as a mom, as a spouse? How can I have the energy to go through those days so that at the end of the day, I don't feel like I'm hitting a wall, or every time I wake up, I feel like I'm hitting a wall? I want you to be more nourished, and I want you to be more at peace in your body. So that's why I shift my focus. And I said, okay, you know what? It's summertime, whatever. We were in Scottsdale. It was June last year. It wasn't even a year. My baby wasn't even a year. And I was trying on shorts because the shorts that I had didn't fit. And we're going shopping, and I remember we're at the Levi's store, and I got different sizes, and I'm trying them on, and I'm like, wow, I'm 2 sizes above what I used to be. And I looked in the mirror and I said, you know what? I look amazing. And this size doesn't dictate who I am, how I feel, or any of that. And you know what? I have hips now. That I grew a human and had a baby. And yes, maybe I'm still working on body composition, but I'm still breastfeeding. I'm giving myself grace. So I just want you to remember that, mama, that if you are in that vicious cycle of thinking, oh my gosh, I have to lose weight. I have to lose weight, especially because it's summertime and it's swimsuit season and short season. And I have to go on this diet, or I have to do this 6-week shred and basically burn yourself to the ground, leading to burnout. That is not how we do it, mama. That is not how we do it. So that's why I created the 21-day summer reset challenge. This challenge is not for you. I'm not promising you like, hey, you are gonna lose 20 pounds at the end of this challenge. No, this challenge is for you to feel nourished, energized, strong without the burnout. It's something that's going to be sustainable for you during the busy, busy summer months. So that's why I encourage you to go to wellnessbyval.com/summer to sign up for the 21-day summer reset challenge. We start on June 2nd, and I'm going to have so many different tools for you that you can download, that you can print. You can use them throughout the busy summer and the rest of your life. I'm also going to be sharing a lot of motivational tips and resources, as well as mindset, because I think that is key, especially as a busy mama. So today, I want to talk about habits that support sustainable weight loss, because that may still be your goal. After you have your baby, your goal may be, hey, you know, I want to get into a reasonable weight. I really want to focus on body composition because I want to focus on maintaining or increasing muscle mass, because I got to lift up a toddler. I got to lift up a 30-pound to 40-pound kid and hold all of these bags and groceries. And that takes a lot of strength and endurance and power. And so it's really not just that number on the scale. And if you have aesthetic goals, that is okay. So what are 3 habits that support sustainable weight loss? Let's get into it. 1, you have to eat enough, mama. You have to eat more, not less. So if you are looking on social media and people are saying what I eat in a day or what to eat to lose all the baby weight, and they are significantly cutting the calories and the energy and the fat and cutting out food groups, red flag, scroll past it. I don't need that. That's a red flag. That's not going to be good for my body, my hormones, my mental health. And hey, I don't want to cut out pizza. All right. If anyone's asking me to cut out pizza and a glass of red wine, see ya. We're not friends because I love pizza. Okay. I believe we can reach our goals. We can fuel our bodies and we can still enjoy the foods that we love. We can enjoy some fun beverages every now and then. It's all about balance. And that's what I teach you when we work one-on-one together. And we're definitely going to talk about that in the 21-day challenge. So don't forget to sign up for that. So we have to eat enough. Especially if you're within the first 2 to 3 years after having your baby, girl, we need calories, especially if you're breastfeeding. We need the fuel to be able to give to your body, especially depending on what you're asking of it. So I am almost 2 years postpartum. I'm exercising regularly. I'm active with my baby. I'm working. I'm doing all of these different things. So if I underfueled and I restricted and I cut out food groups, that's going to do so many different things negatively to the body and to the mind. If I'm restricting foods and restricting different food groups, that's all I'm going to think about. I can't have the pizza. I can't have the carbs. I can't have the bread. I can't have it. I can't have it. And guess what? Your brain does not know yes and no. It just knows whatever you are telling it. So then your brain's like, I need pizza. I need carbs. I need bread. And also, that is your preferred energy source. That is a quick energy source for your muscles, for your every single cell in the body, for your brain. And so if we're under eating, especially carbohydrates, that's going to negatively impact all of that, especially performance. So if you are looking to get back into running and training for that half marathon, or try a CrossFit competition, or maybe beat a record on the Peloton bike, or whatever your jam is, you need the energy, calories, to be able to do that. Do we have enough gas in the car to get where you want to be, right? So if you're going to drive from where I'm at, Albuquerque, New Mexico, to New York, you're going to the East Coast, you're not just going to like fill up half a tank. You're going to fill up the whole tank, right? You're not going to get very far if you don't have gas in your car. And so that's why we need that, especially when we're in those first 2 to 3 years, because we are so energy and nutrient depleted. So skipping meals and under eating is really going to slow down your metabolism. It's going to increase cravings. Your body's going to think, your brain's going to think, okay, I don't know when the next meal is. I better hold on to my fat stores and I better burn muscle for energy. And we don't want to lose muscle because then that's how we hurt ourselves. That's what decreases metabolism. So let's focus on protein. Let's go back to that balanced plate method, something that I've talked about on the show before. And I really dive in when we're on our one-on-ones together of what that balanced plate looks like for you in this season of your life, because everyone is different. But really, let's try to get at least 30 grams of protein, especially at breakfast, your first meal of the day and your last meal of the day. And then we may need to evenly distribute that. And let's start where we are and slowly increase. Let's not forget about fiber, a little bit of healthy fats. And then depending on your exercise and how intense it is, the duration, the frequency, we are going to need carbohydrates. So number one, we have to eat enough, mama. We have to eat enough. Don't think in order to get to a smaller jean size, which I don't even want you thinking that in the first place, but in order to get to a smaller jean size, I need to eat less. No way. And I also want you to think, side note here, what you are doing is modeling for your children. So they are seeing you under fueling, or they're seeing you fuel and take care of yourself. So I want you to remember that as well. So habit number 2, let's move consistently. I'm not telling you to go out and run a marathon. I'm not telling you to get 20,000 steps. I'm not telling you to quit your job and just move all day. But the human body was created to move. Let's keep it simple though. Daily movement. So I like to separate it between exercise and movement. We should be moving every single day. So even if you are off on your exercise day, we need to find ways to move and have fun with it. Take your little one to the park. Walk around the house, do some chores, right? Okay, not that you should do chores because I'm a clean freak, so I'm always cleaning, and I have dogs. So my labs are always shedding, so it feels like I'm always sweeping and vacuuming, but those are my micro breaks throughout the day to get in a little bit of movement here and there instead of just one big chunk of time. I'm also getting outside multiple times a day. We need the sun, and that movement is going to be so great for you. Don't underestimate the power of walking, okay? So if you have a tracker, let's just start to create awareness of how many steps you're currently getting per day. Whoa, I'm only getting 2,000 steps. Okay, that's all right. You know what? The next few weeks, I'm going to really try to get 3,000, 3,500 steps a day. What is that going to look like? You're making it a priority. You're putting in a little bit more effort. And a lot of the times we may be getting a lot of steps depending on what our work looks like and what we're doing, but especially if we're chasing babies, toddlers, and we're playing with them, have fun with it. But then we also need to think strength training with a little bit of cardio mixed in with that. So it kind of just depends if you're training for something, if it's really a body composition goal, or hey, you know what, I want to stay active. I want to stay fit. I want to be able to have the strength and the power and the endurance to do everything that it takes to be a mom. And that's what I'm going to be including in this 21-day summer reset challenge. 30 minutes or less strength-based workouts that you can do literally anywhere. I believe that's important, especially during the busy times of summer where you're not always going to have access to a gym. You're not going to always have the motivation to get up in the morning and go to the gym. But hey, I could do something quick in my living room. I can split this up throughout the day. We're going to need that strength training to build muscle, to support our energy. And it's just going to be super helpful for us, especially as our babes get older. So one of the challenge workouts that I have in the 21-day summer reset challenge, especially the first week, we're going to be focusing on body weight movements, and we're going to focus on those foundational movements. So your foundational movements are going to be your push, your pull, your press, your squat, your hinge, and your lunge. And so I'm giving you the exercise, I'm giving you amplifications, modifications in case there's an injury or you're like, hey, I don't want to do this, I want to do something else. And then each week we're building on top of that. So that's what it kind of looks like in the challenge. Again, go to wellnessbyval.com/summer to sign up for the 21-day summer reset challenge. Okay, so that's habit number 2. Let's move consistently. Let's just create awareness of where we're currently at. Let's make it a priority. Let's move a little bit more. Your hips are going to thank you. Your back is going to thank you for it as well. Now, habit number 3 is reduce stress and improve sleep. And mama, I know how hard it is, girl, because I have 2 jobs. I have a toddler. I have my family. I'm keeping up with the house. I'm hanging out with friends. Like I have a lot going on, but I'm really good at setting boundaries when needed. Like, okay, you know what? I have to say no to this, or hey, let's schedule that out in about 3 weeks. Sorry, that's probably not what you want to hear, but I need to make sure that I'm getting my sleep, that I'm taking care of my family, and of course that I'm able to work, but I still want to see you. So balance is key, and boundaries are really, really going to support your stress, because if you're always saying yes, 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 you're going to get burned out. And it's going to drive that stress response, which is going to drive cortisol. And cortisol's really great to get us out of the bed in the morning, but when cortisol's constantly being pumped out all day long, it's not serving us. It's putting stress on the body, and it's what the body thinks you need, based on the inputs that you're giving it, right? Internally and externally. So if cortisol is being pumped out all day, that's going to make it a lot harder for you to sleep well. It's going to make it a lot easier for you to snap, so you're less resilient to stress. It's going to be really hard to gain muscle. It's going to be really easy to gain fat, especially in the abdominal area. So we have to be able to set those boundaries, and we have to be able to add in parasympathetic nervous breaks to be able to support our nervous system, deep breathing, screen boundaries. Yes, we need it. I need it all of the time. I'm like always speaking to myself. Journaling, if that's something that you enjoy. No TV night. No devices night, or, digital detox, or hey, let's spend the evening as the sun is setting outside while the kids are playing and maybe we're walking around, or let's all go check the mail together, something down regulating and relaxing. And of course, nutritionally, we can add in some support too, magnesium. And that's something that I recommend to my clients. I have specific magnesium recommendations depending on what you are needing it for. But we also need sleep. And that's something that I talk about with my clients a lot. Sleep is number 1, because if we're not getting sleep, it's going to make it easier for us to grab those high-fat, sugary, salty foods. I'm not saying those are bad foods. I don't believe in good and bad foods. It's just that if we're constantly grabbing those foods, we're probably not going to be nourishing ourselves with other foods. And that's going to further deplete energy. And that's going to further decrease everything that you've been working towards. But in moderation, and if we have a balance of those foods, great. But when we're not sleeping well, you know how it is. You are less resilient to the stress the next day. You may be a little bit snappy. you're just like overwhelmed and exhausted. You're trying to get in a workout, but you're like, man, why can't I lift heavier? Why can't I go as intense? Like, oh, I haven't been sleeping well. And this really depends on the phase that you're in. So I am in the toddler phase where my little one is having some nightmares. She's having growing pains. So she's waking up in the middle of the night screaming. And she's also growing so much. She's really hungry. So sometimes she's waking up hungry. And then she's learning a lot. She's talking. She's saying so many more words each week. There's multiple words that she's learning. And so our sleep has been disrupted the last few weeks. And it's just the season that we are in. So you know what we can do? Let's have a pre-bed routine. Let's really focus on down regulating, dim lights, taking supportive supplements when needed. I love my magnesium. I take it every single night. Maybe there's some other herbs that are down regulating for that nervous system that can also support sleep that we can add in. And then, of course, just doing something that's relaxing before you go to bed. And for me lately, that's been, of course, hanging out with my family, but doing more mobility work and flexibility work, stretching and deep breathing, because that's also supporting the exercise that I'm doing. So quick recap, the 3 habits that support sustainable weight loss: we have to eat enough, number 1. Number 2, we have to move consistently. I'm not asking you to go run a mile every single day. Just let's move our bodies a little bit more. And then let's talk about stress and sleep. How can we bring some more awareness? Because some things are out of our control, but there are some things that are in our control. So let's look at boundary setting. Let's look at parasympathetic breaks to support our nervous system during the day. And let's look at our pre-bed routine. So I want you to know, mama, that your worth is not tied to a number on the scale, or a pant size. It is not about that at all. I want you to focus on how you were feeling physically, mentally, emotionally. Let's talk about energizing, being strong, capable. Our confidence doesn't come from that number on the scale. And unfortunately, that's what we've been taught since we were little girls. And I want us to get that out of our head, which takes time. But let's give ourselves grace, and let's really focus on energizing our body physically and mentally. And I want you to know that focusing on how you feel physically, mentally, and emotionally is going to get you a lot further than obsessing over that scale. And if that's the case, get rid of the scale, girl. Throw it in the trash, throw it in a ditch, give it to someone else. But that scale is not serving you if that's what's happening. Also, I want you to understand that weight loss, specifically fat loss, right? Because I do not want you to lose muscle. Weight loss, fat loss is a side effect of nourishing habits done consistently, not perfectly. It's done consistently, not perfectly. And that's where that's where you see the changes in that work, is staying consistent. And that's where I come in to be able to help you with staying consistent, shifting things here and there. But that is the hardest part. How many times do you hear like, okay, I'm doing this new thing, it's helping, but 3 months in, people are like, okay, I quit. 2 weeks in, I have clients saying, hey, I quit. And I'm like, no. It hasn't even been a month. Let's give it time, and let's shift our focus away from the number on the scale. So summer is around the corner. I want you to feel good. I want you to feel confident, energized, but I don't want you to think that in order to do that, in order to lose the weight, you need to diet and you need to burn yourself to the ground. So I hope this episode blessed you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Do not hesitate. And don't forget to sign up for the 21-day Summer Reset Challenge. We start on Monday, June 2nd. You're going to be getting 9 efficient home-friendly workouts, 30 plus energizing recipes for quick meals. You get to download all of this and save it forever. Supplemental guidance, so that magnesium that we were talking about, or other herbs to be supportive for your nervous system and for sleep. I have that for you. I'm also going to be giving you recommendations what's safe while breastfeeding, if that's something that you're doing right now. And then I'm also going to be giving you weekly tools and mindset shifts and support, and a supportive community so that you have women doing this with you along the way. So go to wellnessbyval.com/summer so that you can feel strong, nourished, and energized going into the busy months of summer. Thanks, guys. Stay strong and nourished. Hey, mama. I hope you loved today's episode. If it resonated with you, would you please take 30 seconds to share it with another mom, a mom who's looking to make healthy eating and exercise easier, because we need that. And if you haven't yet, I would be so grateful if you could leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts. It truly means the world to me and helps the show reach more amazing moms like you. All right, time to chase my toddler around. Stay strong and nourished, and I will be back on Monday with another episode. Talk soon.